Hey, Caleb Wojcik here. I'm here with Dave from Kinotika, and we're taking a look at the DJI Osmo Pocket. Okay, so we're going to talk about a few things that you might want to consider if you're buying this, and who it's for, and kind of the cool little features that this thing has. So tell me a little bit about it, Dave. Who do you think this is for, and what are your favorite parts about it?
Yeah, well, we've had it for a couple of weeks now, and we did do a full review on our channel on Kinotika, and yeah, link in the eye icon. But it's really split because on one hand, it's a total consumer product. I mean,
yeah, it's tiny. If you showed up to a professional shoot with this thing, they'd be like, "Where's your camera?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of embarrassingly tiny. I mean, unassuming, and it's totally a consumer product because straight out of the box, full auto everything, baked in profiles, and it looks decent out of the camera. But as soon as you start cranking up the settings and going to 4K at 60 frames per second, which this thing can do, shooting the high bit rate at 100 megabits per second.
Shoot in log.
Shoot in log. It's not a true log, actually.
Yeah.
It's D-Cine-like, which is their kind of neutral profile. Yeah. But once you crank all that up, this camera can actually get pretty professional. And I, for one, was very impressed with the image quality. Of course, it's not going to be good in low light. It's a 1 2/3 inch sensor.
Yeah.
But for daylight stuff, for running around, if you actually treat this like a real gimbal, you can actually get some surprisingly good
So what do you mean by
results.
real? How would you treat it? Like you got your lock going? Like
Yeah.
what are you talking?
When I say treat it like a real gimbal, I mean like this. There's a mode here called tilt lock, and it locks the tilt on the gimbal, and I'm able to actually move up and down here, so I could actually get like a true gimbal shot, like a professional operator would actually use.
Yeah, and I think one of the coolest things that you showed me is when you plug in your phone.
Yeah.
The types of things you can do. I mean, even with this tiny little screen, you can press on someone's face, and as the face moves, this will track it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Not just the focus, but the gimbal will actually move.
Yeah.
And when you go into using your phone, then you get a better picture of that. You can draw a box around an item and track it. And it's like all these little things that you want to be able to do with a bigger, more expensive camera, they're throwing into something that's a few $100s, which is pretty just crazy to me.
I mean, if you're familiar with any of DJI's drones, then you're gonna really be familiar with a lot of the features that this has. It's almost like they took the Mavic camera off and put it on a stick.
Yeah, it's the camera from the drone and they just put it on a stick. Yeah.
And well, that's pretty much what they did. However, I'm getting better results than what I'm used to, even with the Mavic 1. It's definitely nowhere near the new Mavic 2 Pro, which is a 1-inch Hasselblad sensor. Yeah. Which, boy, that'd be cool if it had that, right? But it does look better than like an old Mavic. So I think, this is just speculation, but I think this might be a new camera that might be in the Mavic 2 Air or something like that. Because this looks better than what I'm used to seeing. 4K 60 alone is like, that's a new feature. Even the Mavic 2 Pro doesn't have that.
Yeah. So who do you think this is for? What kind of use case do you think this is best for?
So I think number one, it's a great kind of vlog camera as a backup or when you're running around. The microphone is placed right here, and if you want, you can plug in a mic through the USB-C
I would recommend getting a USB-C adapter to a mic. Like the internal is okay.
It's very bad,
but it's not going to be. It's, I was trying to be nice. Like, it's not going to win any awards. So getting a microphone attachment, or maybe they have accessory cases or something you can find that could have a hot shoe or something with a better mic.
Moment, unfortunately, at the moment, there's really not many accessories.
It's so new,
GoPro DJI has a couple of accessories coming out, but it's still pretty lackluster. But to answer your question, I think a consumer or a vlogger who wants to just shoot full auto and wants a gimbal, this is the best option. But the second answer to that same question is if you're a pro, has like a Ronin S with a mirrorless camera, for example, this, believe it or not, is a powerful tool to have in your tool belt, because once you go into those manual modes, you can actually get ND filters for this, so you can shoot proper shutter speed, you get full manual control. You can't control your aperture, it's locked to f2.0, but it's actually pretty wide open, and you get some decent depth of field. I think this is a great tool to have in your pocket or in your camera bag as a backup if your big gimbal system is maybe too unwieldy, or heck, even if it breaks and this is all you have.
And if you're just trying to get some videos for social media or of your family, or you are on a shoot or you're doing something and you just want to hand somebody something, so you have some behind the scenes, like this would be a perfect thing to hand a kid even, to be like, hey, go film this or go make your own YouTube videos or what have you. This reminds me of a flip cam. That was the first kind of thing I thought of, with the screen on the back, a record button and one other button. Just like super simple, fits in your hand, fits in your pocket, always have it with you kind of thing. Versus traveling with the DSLR or a bigger camera or using your phone. I don't love to film on my phone all the time because I also use my phone when I'm doing stuff. So if I'm going somewhere, I need to open maps or what have you. So having a separate device, I don't know, this thing's pretty slick.
The only problem with it is the price to me. I think it's
it's too expensive?
I think it's a little bit too much money, because if you market this as a consumer product, they're not going to want to spend $350 on this. Yeah. And then if you're a pro, this isn't going to be your main thing. So it's kind of like, do I really need that?
Where does it fit in? Yeah.
Yeah, so like, I do think it's worth it if you look at the specs, if you look at what's on the market. If this stands out to you as like, I need this, and this is the only thing that exists like it. I mean, the GoPro 7 Black they're calling it a gimbal killer. Yeah. But we did some tests and it's not killing a gimbal. Like, let's just be honest, like, you can't beat a real stabilization. Yeah. Also, the GoPro is really fisheye and wide, and this is about a 28 millimeter focal length, so it's a good kind of in between. Yeah. So the price, I think this really needed to be $199 to just take over.
Gotcha.
That's just my viewpoint. But we also need I don't know why they didn't put a quarter 20 down here. Yeah. So that I can mount it on a switch pod.
Oh, yeah, a switch pod would be a good option, or any other tripod. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think that it's more consumer than it is professional. But if you're looking for some sort of camera to travel around with, or you do have there's a bottom too. There's a little Bluetooth
I have that
thing
here. So if you don't want to have your phone plugged up to it all the time, you can actually buy this accessory. I think it's $50, which again,
or if you just want to set it down and
maybe it's an actual stand.
Yeah. But it looks like a toothbrush. Like, you know, like an electric toothbrush you have charging in your bathroom.
Yeah, it does look like an electric toothbrush. Yeah, so this little thing just plugs in USB-C and it gives you Bluetooth, which it's weird they didn't build it in. I guess they just wanted to make it smaller. Yeah. And then you can also buy this accessory here, which is a little control dial, and it gives you 2 extra function buttons and essentially a joystick to control it. It's not actually a joystick, it's a little
up and down
wheel, and you change pan and tilt by flipping this switch back.
Okay, so you switch that and it'll do up and down and switch it back and go side to side.
And then this one is go to selfie mode or normal mode, and this one changes your different like follow or tilt lock and FPV
Can you
modes.
have that on and have a phone
No.
plugged in? So
I mean, I guess in theory you could use this and this.
Bluetooth to
connect
your
over
phone.
Bluetooth and use this here.
Gotcha.
But now you've got
You're
2,
holding one in each hand or something like that.
Yeah, or maybe maybe you have an operator or something. I think it's a weird, like, a lot of people thought this was just a consumer product, but once I looked at the footage with Sydney Bjongsen, actually, we did a collab together. Once we looked at the footage back, we were both just surprised at how good the quality is. I mean, it looks like, you know, the top of the top Mavic cameras. I mean, it's which perform really well. So,
well, cool. Definitely check out Dave's full review on the Kinotika channel, and he also did a comparison between this and the GoPro Hero Black 7. Camera names are getting way too long. Shorten them down. Shorten them down. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, Dave.
Thank you, Caleb.
Yeah.
See ya.